Oh, sweet. Grievous is out.
Fucking whores! You fucking whores! 같이 쿵쿵쿵쿵쿵 원누키 잔잔뿅뿅 그 바톤 이미와 나이사 타타카우다케.
Not gonna lie, I have some pretty mixed feelings about General Grievous. On one hand, he is the hulking beast that scares the shit out of me every time I see him on the battlefront, and on the other hand, he is a glitchy mess that struggles to even get one kill in any mode. Now I just want to say I've spent more time going up against Grievous than I have actually playing him, at least online. The footage you're seeing now is on arcade. I have had very limited chances to actually play him properly online because of the demand for right now. Everyone's basically just having a battle to see who can get Grievous because everyone wants to play him right now. But for right now, from what I've seen other people do, what I've seen footage of other people do, and from what I've played in arcade, I think I've already got a pretty solid opinion on him. Let's first talk about design though, because I think that is his strongest suit. His design is bloody beautiful. He looks really cool, his emotes are a lot of fun, his victory poses, that first one is just scary as hell. But I think above all, if you're playing up against him and you see him run towards you, either with his right ability or just running or jumping or anything at you, he is really scary, and I think they've done a really good job of Grievous in that regard. A mode that I honestly would love to see would be just Ewok Hunt, except it's Grievous versus Stormtroopers. I feel like that would be so unbelievably scary for the Stormtroopers, especially with the fact that you can turn your sabers off and on now. I think that would be a really great mode for them to incorporate, maybe for Halloween or something, which might be a bit late now, depending on when this video comes out. Now, it's a bit of a shame that he doesn't use all 4 of his lightsabers just running around, but, you know, the 2 look still good. I know that they had a lot of time constraints and it would have been really hard for them, and that's fair. I know they wanted to have as much polish done into Grievous as they could, but that sort of leads into the next things I want to talk about. His primary attacks animation, they're okay, but sometimes they feel a little bit janky and awkward. Definitely my first impression of his animations were that they looked really janky. As I've played with him a bit more, he doesn't look too bad, but yeah, at first he looked a little stiff. His primary attacks are probably the only attacks that are really usable when it comes to Grievous, apart from the crawl. The crawl is by far his most useful ability. It can knock people down, doesn't do it in arcade, so I haven't really tested how powerful that is, but it knocks people down and deals damage to them. You can also get a star card that puts up to 90% damage off, and he also makes him harder to hit. It can make him escape. It's definitely got a lot of uses, which makes it quite a good ability. However, his other 2 abilities are atrocious. They don't work at all. His left ability allows you to lock onto someone, then you charge at them, and then you attack them. There are a lot of problems with this ability. Firstly, the lock-on doesn't really work a lot of the time. Sometimes you can even lock onto dead bodies, and it's just a mess. Sometimes you just charge at them, and the attack doesn't even deal any damage to them.
You sent me a message first, yeah? I live in Smethwick, Birmingham. If you want the fucking brawl, come down Smethwick, ask for Danny G. I'll come out my house, and I'll break your fucking legs, you little prick!
From what I was doing in arcade, I think, honestly, it was only working about half the time. The ability either didn't lock onto someone, didn't do damage when it actually did lock onto them, locked onto the wrong person, and even when it actually does do it, it doesn't do that much damage without a star card. I think it one-shots some units, but I know that it doesn't one-shot heavies. And for an ability like that, it kind of needs to one-shot everyone. I know that sounds very overpowered, but because there's such a long load-up time, and you're pushing into the enemy when Grievous is sort of a bit more, you know, like, he's very quick. He's kind of like Maul, where you want to jump in and out, but you are thrusting yourself into the enemy, and there should be a bit more damage output because he's not as maneuverable as Maul. So I think maybe he has a damage buff inbound, which might help him out a little bit in that regard. His 2 ability is really confusing as to how it works. Basically, he does the spinny move from Revenge of the Sith, and what it's meant to do is block bolts and also be able to attack people as you slam through them. There's 2 problems with this. One, sometimes the bolts just blatantly don't block and you're just getting hit by blaster fire. And 2, the lightsabers that spin on this, I think there's something wrong with their hitboxes or something, because you'll run into the enemy and you'll just do no damage to them. I'm sure in the clip that you are seeing right now, you should be able to see that you just can stand in front of someone with these lightsabers that are meant to be just a death trap of blending almost. And it just, no, you just sit there and just watch as your enemies just standing in the middle of your lightsabers with absolutely no damage being done. It's quite ridiculous that this move doesn't work. You'd think that this move would be the most powerful in his arsenal, but right now it's kind of useless. Right now the only way I see you playing online properly is maybe in HVV being able to use your left and right ability. Your second ability is pretty much useless unless you want to get an unreliable couple of blaster blocks, because also your normal block works actually quite well in HVV, but in Galactic Assault it's useless because your stamina is so low. You will take 3 blaster bolts before being, you know, out of stamina. So pretty much I don't see much use for the 2 ability in either Galactic Assault or HVV. In Galactic Assault I don't see any use for the left ability either. So really in Galactic Assault you're just using your crawl to run around, getting a couple hits in, and then running away. So yeah, that's not exactly what I expected from the General. There are definitely ways that he's fun, but I think that mostly comes from the fact that General Grievous in canon is a badass, and we want him to be a badass. He's great looking, but honestly, I'm quite disappointed with how he's turned out in the game. I think some people will get good at him, and I think that I might enjoy him a bit further into the future, as A, he's fixed, and B, I actually get a chance to play as him online when the hype turns down a little bit. But right now, I'm having trouble playing as Grievous. I'm having trouble seeing why it took them so long. I understand that a lot of this just comes down to the fact that they were understaffed and did not have the resources needed to really integrate Grievous. But yeah, it's a shame. I hope that they fix him. I really hope that Obi-Wan isn't like this. I hope that they can really do well with those abilities and things, because a lot of work obviously went into this character, but the problem is that they chose abilities that kind of seem like they're being built from the ground up. And obviously we want to see new stuff, but these abilities are sort of based off these new systems that obviously aren't working well at the moment. So I think the 2 ability can probably be fixed with simple hitbox issues. The first ability on the left probably could be fixed with just some polish, and you know, the third ability is pretty good. So I think he needs some fixing, but after that I think he actually could be quite a solid hero just because of how great his design is. But I want to know what you guys think, so please in the comments down below leave what you think of General Grievous so far. I will be trying to answer some comments. If you enjoy his character, and if you're actually getting quite good at him, let me know. And we'll just see what the general consensus is on him right now, because personally I'm disappointed, but I think that's mostly because I haven't had too much of a chance to play as him, but I really wanted to talk about him in this video. So thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.
같이 다세 쿵쿵쿵쿵쿵 원두키 잔잔 뺨